This is, wow, this is very cute. We are reviewing and comparing a couple of wireless keyboards. We have this brand. They are both brown switch keyboards. If you don't know what that means, we'll go into it a little bit. Also this Royal Kludge, which is 68 key. I'll start with this smaller one. On the back we have all our specifications and such. Bluetooth, RGB, backlit, gaming is spelled wrong, mechanical keyboard. The model is the CQ63 from this brand. And again, the brown switches. Inside it's got the little anti-static baggie here. It is super tiny and adorable. On the back again, it just has the sticker with the model and the CQ63. It does have little feet. I like that. And then it's got the little pads to keep from sliding around. On the front, we've got all of our numbers up here. We've got the little arrows down here. The numbers are also combined with the function keys, the F1, F2, print screen, home, and delete right here with function access to that. And then on your directional keys, and then also the question mark key is the settings for adjusting the backlight. The 1, 2, 3, I assume that's going to be for if you're connecting to more than one device with the Bluetooth. All of your symbols and such are up here with the numbers like usual. The on is just a little thing on the back. Right off the bat, this guy was flashing. I assume that's for connecting to either in general the Bluetooth or connecting to your number 2 device. The backlight right now is on a dark blue. Turn it up a little. Got a blue, sort of a rainbow. That one I think is called breathing, slowly pulsing. This one is just solid, sort of a, reminds me of the old game Snake. Do you remember that? Sort of a fluctuating gradient. Press the key and it pulses away from it. So this is similar, but just on the one horizontal line. This one just follows the key that you're pushing and then slowly fades back to the back color. This one is the same, but on a larger scale. As I mentioned before, these are brown switches, which if we pulled these keys up underneath squishy bit would actually be brown. They sent a little tool for doing that. And then your charging cord here is just a USB Type-C. But I'll show you what I'm talking about with these. So you take this little guy, grab onto the key, and then it just pulls straight off. So underneath here, this is your switch. Again, it's brown, which is, as I understand it, the sort of middle ground tactile type of feeling. If I got this straight. Red switches, brown switches, and blue switches are your main ones. This box also says black. I don't know what black ones are. I'm sorry. I'm not an aficionado here. Anyway, so the brown ones are tactile. So it's more of that kind of nice feeling of typing. You get a little bit of pushback, I guess, when you're pushing. It's not super soft. Feels really kind of satisfying to press on it. There is a bit of a noise with it. It's not obnoxious. I wouldn't have a problem using this like in an office. If I was sitting right next to somebody, like maybe a call center, that kind of situation, I wouldn't mind it, but they might have a problem with it. But if I was in my own cubicle or office or whatever, I think it would be just fine. If you are taking this to school, I don't know how your teacher would feel about it. I believe it's the blue switches that are like the really loud ones, almost on a typewriter kind of situation. The red ones are the softer, quieter ones. These kind of keyboards, you can actually change out the switches. There's little locks on the sides of the switches. It didn't come with the tool to do that I saw. I imagine you can get them separately, or I don't know, maybe use like a little electronic screwdriver. I'm not positive. Anyway, you can just order a set of the other kind of switches. Back to the actual layout of this keyboard. I know these are referred to by like a percentage. I'm not sure what this one would be. I'll look it up and put it on the screen. As soon as I get this one unpacked, we will test how easy it is connecting it actually to a device. As we saw, there is the little tool and the little charger, which this is actually a really nice charger. It's one of the braided ones. I don't know how long it is. About 5 feet. I don't know what kind of battery life you're going to be looking at. It says it supports Windows XP. Does anyone even run that anymore? Windows 7, Windows 8, Windows 10, Android, and Apple on all operating systems. We're already at Windows 11 at this point, and so I would assume it would support that as well. My computer doesn't actually have Windows 11 because I don't feel like upgrading it. I'm one of those people that keeps saying, you know, remind me later. So I can't actually test to see if it'll work on there. It says support Apple system opening process. It has your function combination key interfaces. So when you push your function key, what these other keys will do. So, you know, like F1, F2, print, home delete like we looked at, your speed and your brightness on the colors, the different kinds of lighting. The names are actually pretty great. Floating with the flow, then you have rippling, running away from the dust, stepping on the snow without a trace, grid, breathing, constant light, and horse racing. So there you go. I like stepping on the snow without a trace. There is also a custom mode. So your color switching is actually on your enter key. So you have green, purple, yellowy green, teal, white, off, red, and then that dark blue again. You have to use the function key with Q, W, and E here to set up your different Bluetooth devices. R actually is how you switch between USB mode and Bluetooth mode. There's a little U/B. It does say on Bluetooth, the host device needs to support Bluetooth 4.0 or higher. When it's plugged in, the spacebar apparently lights up in blue to let you know that it's charging. So that's that one. We'll test it with the device and then also compare sizes and kind of what's different, what's missing, and then also compare it with the keyboard that I already have. Royal Kludge. My husband has made all these jokes. Apparently some people online refer to it as Royal Kludge. If you work for the company, maybe you could just tell me how it's pronounced. So you got the same little anti-static baggie. I'll say right off the bat, this one is heavier, feels a lot more substantial, which I like. This one didn't feel chintzy by any means, but it definitely felt more cheap. I don't remember the prices offhand. I do think this one was a little more expensive, but they were similar. This one, again, is 68. Your extra buttons right off the bat are right here. So it's a separate button for print screen, delete, page up, and page down, which also has scroll lock, pause, insert, and the tilde. Is that what that is? You have, you know, the numbers and the symbols, F1, F2. These ones also have extra things on them. So like home, your email shortcut, calculator shortcut, music. On the directional keys, you have your light, brightness, speed. This one up here actually has the little color symbol for changing the mode. On the back, their little sticker. It's also made in China. RK68 is the model. It also has these little non-skid feet. It doesn't have the little tabs that raise the height of it up. If you're working on a desk, that could definitely make a difference. On-off is on the bottom here. It has battery, just like this one did. I didn't charge either of these, so I have no idea how much charge it's gonna have out of the box. We start with a similar dark blue color. Function key is also over here, just like on that one. Apparently it flashes at you when you reach the end setting. You got your speed. It's on this, when you push the key, it turns off and then slowly comes back on. Kind of a fast flow of the same color, the other direction. That's kind of both directions at once. Just sort of a ripply, kind of a back and forth ripply pulse, which is based on your touches. The horizontal pulse again, lighting up following where you're at, kind of a fast pulse following where you're pressing. Okay, so it's like a back and forth and then it spirals right here. Another little kind of spiral effect. This one seems to have a lot more settings. I don't think I could use that. That's got way too much going on. Kind of a straight back and forth, sort of a little wavy thing going on, just solid. This one's fun. Your WASD and then your directional and your escape are all lit up, presumably for like gaming, breathing. And then we're back to that first setting. I like that one the best. That's actually the one that I have on my keyboard. We have another little instruction manual. This one has a lot more in it than that one did. How to connect it, all the stuff it connects to. Apparently it's the same kind of with this one. When you plug it in, your space bar is gonna flash at you. When the battery is low, apparently your function key is gonna flash. It has the 1, 2, 3 again on your QWE, but then it also has Windows and a Mac separately on the A and the S. This one did not have that. I don't see that anywhere. It does have kind of a funny little symbol down here on the Windows key, so maybe that's what that is. Listing all your function keys, all your multimedia keys up here on the top. Your multimedia keys for Mac are apparently a little different, so it lists those as well. And then it has a whole bunch of different languages. This one, it feels really nice, but it is a rubberized one, USB Type-C again. It's not this nice braided type. This is interesting. It's a C to C, but then it comes with this attached little, you know the word, you know the thing, adapter. This adapter. This cord is longer, I'd say 6 foot. So we have the same little puller here, but this one actually is double-sided, and so this side is that little tool I was talking about before for changing out switches. It's got these two little prongs on it with little teeth on the end. They pinch right down into the grooves on the switches, so you can just pop the switch off. They actually sent these 4 spare switches, so you know, off the bat you have some issues with any of your switches, you can just switch it out for a new little one. So that's really nice. I like that. That's all we got in the box here. Let's go ahead and compare the sizes also against the one that I have. So here we have all three of them. This one is actually mine that I already own that I use on the computer. I have them set kind of on a similar color. This one seems to have the fastest timeouts. The light keeps going off. This one's just been on. I don't know if it times out at all. Honestly, it's got to at some point, right? So this one is actually an 85%. It does have dedicated number keys over here. Direction keys are over here. This one is called a 65%. Again, that's where I pointed out it has, you know, your separate delete, page up, page down. And then this one is just a 60%. You know, these keys here are right here, although it doesn't have page up and page down at all. I did notice while I was comparing them that your question mark was usually right here next to this right hand shift, right here again. On this keyboard, it's way over here. If you're using this, see, it's timing out already. If you're using this for gaming or something along those lines, I don't know that it would matter that it's over here. I actually use these for writing. I did a little sample section of writing, just a few things on it, and that was super annoying. I have, you know, kind of small hands, average for a lady, and this question mark was really difficult to reach, especially since it's just a normal square little key anyway, so trying to reach my pinky over that directional key and the shift key was really difficult and really annoying to do. Honestly, that alone I would send back this keyboard for. This one, it's in the right spot, so I didn't have any issues typing dialogue kind of things. As far as the size of the actual keyboard goes, you know, there's obviously fewer keys on this, but then also the casing itself is a little smaller on this guy. The surrounding casing on this one's a little thicker. If you were to get, say, a 60% in this one, you can see the keys line up, but I think the keyboard itself would still be maybe a little bit smaller, just because this casing is so much smaller. On this, what did I say it was, 85%, thicker still. The keys are spread out a little more. Again, I have smaller hands, so one of these smaller keyboards really doesn't bother me as far as typing goes. If you know, maybe have bigger hands or you're more comfortable kind of spreading out a little, you're worried about fat fingering things, you might be better off getting something more substantial than like a 65%, you know, at least maybe like an 85%. I think there's several other kinds of sizes, maybe something to look at. We'll go ahead and check out how it does connecting to a device. So we're all set up. This one is the Royal Kludge. Let's see how user-friendly this is for actually connecting to Bluetooth. It's flashing my cue here. Apparently just pressing it is not what you do. Try holding it down. Okay, now it's flashing really fast. I think that did it. Yep. Okay, so you can connect it on 3.0 or the 5.0. You could also connect something to number 2 and number 3, and then, you know, use your function to switch between them if you're going to be multitasking like some kind of crazy person. Let's go in here and actually try to type something. You know, I said I tested it out just imagining what I'm typing. I didn't actually type on anything. Hello, this is werewolves. How are you doing today? And how about that? I could use a question mark and not drive myself insane doing it. So that one works good. I think it sounds nice. I like these brown switch ones. So let's try this guy out. They had the R for the USB Bluetooth. It's already showing up. So I didn't have to hold anything down for any amount of time. I just had to do the R to cycle to the Bluetooth, and it's already showing up on here. It doesn't give options for the different Bluetooths. So 3.0, 5.0. Go back to our Word document here. We'll just hit C. Today. Oof, I have to actually like pick my hand up to get to it. Just trying to reach it. I fumble over all these keys that are in between. It feels nice. The sound is different though. I like the lower tone one a lot better. This one is a little too distracting for me personally. The feel of it is also slightly different. There's sort of a more noticeable catch as you're pressing it down before it actually registers. The top part is a little bit kind of looser, whereas this one kind of feels the same all the way down. There's still the catch in the middle, but it doesn't feel just like it's jangling around. People who actually make real keyboard reviews, I'm sorry. You should just go check one of those out if that's what you're looking for. I don't know what the terms are supposed to be. Anyway, this is a good keyboard, but it's just different. You know, between the two, I prefer this one. If I hadn't compared to this one, and if the question mark wasn't in a ridiculous location, I would be perfectly happy using this one. Again, I had no problems getting them to connect on the Bluetooth. This one, you know, I could have just looked at the user manual and had no issues there, but again, it was just long pressing. It starts flashing a little faster so you know it's connecting. This one, it just found it right off the bat as soon as I told it to go to Bluetooth. Presumably, you know, it would do that with another device, which we can just test it out with my phone and see if it can find it. Pair new device. So, it's flashing again. So my phone is not finding it like this one did. I'll try holding it down and see what happens. Okay, holding it down, it starts flashing quickly again, just like this one did. So maybe it was a fluke with the tablet, I'm not sure. But holding it down, it's flashing fast, it's showing up, now it's paired. And on my phone, it actually shows the amount of battery. This has 47% battery, so out of the box, it has around 50%, we'll say. Maybe that's just this one. I don't know. I don't even know what to do on my phone with a keyboard. Type a text message to my husband. Okay, this is bizarre. You can use it to send texts, apparently, and it works just fine. Let's try to switch back to this now, so... it's not seeing it. It's acting like it's not connected to this one. Oh, okay. So it's trying to connect like a different device. I connected on my phone with the 2. I thought I connected on this with the 1. Apparently I didn't. Let's try it with the 1 and then try to switch back to the phone with the 2. So it works fine with 1, and then I want to switch back to 2, and it's not connecting to my phone. Okay, now it is. Okay, it just took a minute. Back to 1, and now it's working again. Alright, so we've got 2 devices on this one. Let's try it out with this guy. I'll have to explain to my husband what the heck I'm doing with these ridiculous texts I'm sending him. So we're still connected on this one. Try to connect on this one. So on this one, we needed to hold it down until it was ready to start pairing. It actually popped up with 3 options. They have your, you know, your different Bluetooths, the 5.0 and the 3.0, but it's showing up twice for the 5.0. I'm not sure what that's about. We'll just pick one. It's pairing really slowly. It's still pairing. And now it stopped trying to pair. And it's just not paired. Let's try the other one. That one worked fine. So I tried the 3.0 and that worked no problem. And it works just fine. And I can use the question mark and it doesn't drive me absolutely bonkers. And I'll try to switch back to the tablet. Alright, connected. It did seem like it connected a little bit faster than maybe that one did. Okay, yeah. It seems to connect just a touch faster, which, I mean, what kind of monster are you going to be fish flopping back and forth here? It doesn't show the battery for this one on my phone. It also doesn't show it on either one of them on the tablet. Maybe it would show it on the computer. Both of them are USB Type-C. Presumably, you could use that to connect to, you know, these mobile devices, your tablet, your phone. Obviously, Apple devices, what's it called, the lightning plug? You would need an adapter for that. Now that I'm saying that, I realize, you know, because this one has the Type-C to Type-A, you couldn't do that anyway, unless you had another adapter. But since this one already has the little Type-C here, I'll just plug it in and see what it says for us. It says my phone is charging the device. Apparently you can use whatever device you're plugged into to charge it. It doesn't have to be the computer. And there you go. Plug it on into whatever device you're using it on and there's no issues there. So I did look up the price of these. This Royal Kludge one is $47.69, and then this, I'm not gonna try to butcher that brand name. So the smaller one, the 63 guy, is $49.99. Although when I bought it, it was on sale for $36.74, I think. Obviously they have some pretty good sales. It didn't say it was a lightning deal, so I don't know. Maybe it just got popular and they raised the price. You know, it's the economy we live in, right? Right now though, they are both just right about the same price. This one that I like better, that's a little bit bigger, is actually slightly cheaper right now. Again, I use the same brand, this Royal Kludge, on my regular keyboard that I have on the computer downstairs, and I've been very happy with it. The Royal Kludge one has a lot more backlight options. I don't need all those options. If you love them, that's great. This other one, you know, had plenty of fun options. I thought they all had really fun names, as we saw. As far as my purposes go, I'm gonna keep this 65% one, and I'll be sending back this littler 60% guy. Still a great little keyboard if you're not using the question mark. Thanks for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope it was helpful. We have some giveaways coming up later this month. If you haven't already, I hope that you will subscribe to the channel and be sure and hit the like button, even if you didn't like it. I'd appreciate it. See you guys.